Important things to watch out for in making speech presentations: your appearance, posture, and body language. Eye contact, with a cheerful voice to greet your audience, sets the mood in your entire presentation. You can also begin your presentation by expressing gratitude to the people or the organization who invited you to make a speech in that particular event.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, for the honor to address this body once more. And thanks to the distinguished climate leaders assembled here today who are ready to take action.
You are expected to look friendly, sincere, and confident. So do not do this.
I'm Emily Johnson.
Volume, pace, and intonation. If you speak too softly, or if your voice drops as you speak, your audience cannot hear you well, so they miss some, or even the important parts of your presentation.
It's really never happened, so let me, I thought we went, okay, sorry. So we wanted to really give them credit.
If your pace is too fast with long sentences or highly technical words, you are not giving your audience the time to fully understand what you are trying to say.
Reiteration of Landauer's principle, which you should know is any logical, irreversible manipulation of information, such as the erasure of a bit or merging of two computational paths, must be accompanied by corresponding entropy increase in non-information bearing degrees of freedom. No? Okay.
Intonation, variety in the tone of your voice, also keeps the interest of the audience. A monotone voice puts the audience to sleep, or takes their interest somewhere else. It is never a good idea to start your sentences, nor your speech presentations with a conjunction. So,
the Excel Center, my presentation is on the Excel Center.
Why use filler words when they make you sound unsure, uncomfortable, and uninterested? In making English speech presentations, avoid using words that your audience do not understand, and avoid vocal noise like
あー、あれ。
Instead of the usual greetings, here are some effective speech opening statements that will make your audience want to listen to you.
Abraham Lincoln was also thinking of bold action 150 years ago when he said, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country."
Although a speech presentation does not have to be too serious, it must not seem like a joke either.
They do consultation.
Work on the content of your speech to make it worth listening to.
Renewable energy, fossil fuels, and putting a price on carbon pollution are beginning to turn the tide. This transition is not only the right thing for our world, but it also makes clear economic sense and is possible within our lifetime.
Pauses can be a very useful tool during your presentation.
America's gone through tough times before. Slavery, civil war, famine, disease, the Great Depression, and 9/11. And each time, we came out stronger. Usually because a new generation, young people like you, learned from past mistakes and figured out how to make things better.
Certain movements communicate nervousness or lack of interest. Any constantly repeated action can become a distraction. If you have to flip through pages of printed materials, do it in a manner that does not cause unnecessary distraction.
They have public.
Direct marketer.
Constantly running your fingers through your hair is an example. Avoid scratching any body part, or swaying from side to side, letting your hands move aimlessly, and sounding bored with whatever topic you are discussing. Talk to your audience, not to yourself. Especially in Western cultures, lack of eye contact can signal insincerity and lack of confidence or lack of interest. Make every conscious effort to keep the attention of your audience on your speech presentation.
We can congratulate each other today.
Do not wave your pointer carelessly, as it causes distraction.
Optimal electronic switching device is shown by the following equations for
If you stand in the way of the projector's light beam, you are covering part of your visuals, and you should not turn your back on your audience either.
biologically inspired, and can you all see that? All right.
Remember that your audience devoted their time to listen to you, so do not just scramble away without thanking them for having stayed through the end of your speech.
On marketing industry.
Make sure you show your appreciation to your audience by closing your speech presentation properly and thanking them for their time.
I'm delighted to introduce this report on their progress, and I'm eager to hear what's next. Thank you so much.
Voice and language evaluation. It's time to go over the vocabulary for a better understanding of the short speech presentations in this lesson. Dogma
is defined as principles or rules that cannot be questioned, or articles of faith in different religions.
Disenthrall.
Set free.
Document.
To record something in written, photographic or other form.
Astonished.
Greatly surprised or impressed. Amazed.
Ancient.
Belonging to the very distant past and no longer in existence.
Predict.
Say or estimate that a specified thing will happen in the future or will be a consequence of something.
Astronomical.
Extremely large.
Pessimistic.
Tending to see the worst aspect of things or believe that the worst will happen.
Fossil fuel.
A natural fuel such as coal or gas formed in the geological past from the remains of living organisms.
Manipulate.
Control or influence a person or situation cleverly.
Resonate.
Produce or be filled with a deep, full, reverberating sound.
Fiery.
Having a passionate and quick-tempered nature.
In spite of.
Is used to show contrast.
Let us watch two speech presentations. Now, it's your turn to evaluate them according to the points we have discussed in this video.
Thank you all for being here for this important moment. These men from all over the world have decided to make gender equality a priority in their lives and in their universities. Thank you for making this commitment. I graduated from university 4 years ago. I had always dreamed of going, and I know how fortunate I am to have had the opportunity to do so. I know that my university experience shaped who I am. And of course, it does for many people. But what if our experience of university shows us that women don't belong in leadership? What if it shows us that, yes, women can study, but they shouldn't lead a seminar? What if, as still in many places around the world, it tells us that women don't belong there at all? What if, as is the case in far too many universities, we are given the message that sexual violence isn't actually a form of violence? But we know that if you change students' experiences so they have different expectations of the world around them, expectations of equality, society will change. As we leave home for the first time to study at the places that we have worked so hard to get, we must not see or experience double standards. We need to see equal respect, leadership, and pay. Our 10 Impact Champions have made this commitment, and with their work, we know they will inspire students and other universities and schools across the world to do better. I'm delighted to introduce this report on their progress, and I'm eager to hear what's next. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General, for the honor to address this body once more. And thanks to the distinguished climate leaders assembled here today who are ready to take action. President Abraham Lincoln was also thinking of bold action 150 years ago when he said, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country." As a UN messenger of peace, I have traveled all over the world for the last 2 years documenting how this crisis is changing the natural balance of our planet. In Greenland and in the Arctic, I was astonished to see that ancient glaciers are rapidly disappearing, well ahead of scientific predictions. All that I have seen and learned on my journey has absolutely terrified me. There is no doubt in the world scientific community that this is a direct result of human activity and the effects of climate change will become astronomically worse in the future. You know that climate change is happening faster than even the most pessimistic of scientists warned us decades ago. Our planet cannot be saved unless we leave fossil fuels in the ground where they belong. We can congratulate each other today, but it will mean absolutely nothing if you return to your countries and fail to push beyond the promises of this historic agreement. Now is the time for bold, unprecedented action. It is time to declare no more talk, no more excuses, no more 10-year studies, no more allowing the fossil fuel companies to manipulate and dictate the science and policies that affect our future. This is the body that can do what is needed. We will be remembered in spite of ourselves. The fiery trial through which we pass will light us down in honor or dishonor to the last generation. We shall nobly save or meanly lose the last best hope of Earth. That is our charge now. You are the last best hope of Earth. We ask you to protect it, or we and all living things we cherish are history. Thank you very much.
As always, thanks a lot for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. And before you go, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and click that tiny bell. And don't forget to check out some of our other videos on the channel. On to the next time.